I'm going to make a reverse canvas for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. I've never done one before. I've watched a lot of videos. I laid a towel down to protect the canvas. It's 100% cotton. I am going to remove the staples on the back. So I went and got a couple screwdrivers and a small pair of needle nose pliers, and I'm prying up the staples that way. And this is what's working for me. I know everyone has their own method, but this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I just took the last of the staples out, and I did have to use my screwdriver and pry a little bit, and then I took the needle nose and I pulled them out. So I got them all out, and taking the canvas off carefully, and now we remove the canvas from the frame. So now I want to take this frame, I want to go outside of my garage, and I'm going to stain it. Alright, so I bought this polystain. It's mahogany gloss. You can see that. And I'm hoping this is the color it actually is going to be. Sometimes it always looks a little different. I'm actually going to test it. I think that's really pretty. So I think that's going to be good. Right. You can do the back if you'd like. You don't have to, but it'll make it be complete just in case the canvas doesn't cover it 100%. And I'm going to cover it with one coat of the polyacrylic. And it is a clear satin that I'm using. Plenty on my brush. Now I'm just going to make sure and smooth it all out where my hand was. Make sure that it's thin enough that there's no milky, like in this corner, drips. So let's start with a new page. And we're going to go straight to my shapes. And I'm going to pick a square. And I'm going to take that square and I'm bring it in the center. And to start, we could go up here and do 12, because that's what my canvas is that I bought, by 16. Oh, I gotta unlock this, sorry about that. We're gonna go down to 12. And I'm gonna relock it, and there we go. So let's make this a little smaller so you can see it. There's my 12 by 16. And then I'm gonna bring this to the side. Don't worry about up here in this corner, if you can see it with the sizing, because we're gonna come back and shrink that. So then we're gonna hit our text box and we're gonna type in mom. And I like to go up here and pick my fonts. I do have some that I have put on here, so I'm going to go to System, and I like the one that I picked. It's called not I Love Glitter. It is Love Is in the Air. So I'm just going to type the word love and hit the search, and I'm going to come over to here that says Love Is in the Air and click that. So now I can bring that onto my canvas and make it bigger. And I'm going to leave that there for now. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to type in, my husband's name is Troy. And he was born, I like to put double digits. You can either do the dash mark or you can do the forward slash. I'm going to try the forward slash on this one because I think the other one I did dash marks. And then I'm going to see which way I like it better. And I'm going to do his birthday. And that's this one. Obviously I need to shrink that because I have a lot more to put on here. And then I'm going to do his sister, and she is a widow, so that is why it is perfect what I'm doing just for her. This is my sister-in-law, and she was born, what's her birthday? 03. 1990. She had her kids quite a few years apart. All right, so you get the idea, and we'll line all this up later. I want to pull open my text box. I want to do a shift, use your shift key and the number 8 or the asterisk above it. And when you remove it, it changes it to a heart. Oops, sorry, I don't want to do that. I just want to pull it down. Only in the I Love Glitter that I know of, there might be other fonts, but in I Love Glitter, some of your symbols and numbers will change to different fonts for you. So what you're going to do is I'm going to make that a little smaller. I want it to be about an inch big, roughly. And I'm going to drag it and stick it next to the grandma. And I might make it a little smaller. Now that I like that size the way it is, let me get that where you guys can see it. I don't want to have to make a new one, so I'm just going to click on it, go up here to the right, and there is a duplicate button, and I'm going to just drag it over to this side for grandma, and I'm going to leave that there. For the mom, I want to do a different symbol. So I'm still in I Love Glitter. It's just going to be the bottom of the parenthesis box, if I remember correctly. There you go. And see how that makes a little squiggly line? I want that squiggly line to go right here next to the mom. And that is the left parenthesis box. So now I'm going to do that again. Click on my stuff. And I'm going to do the right parenthesis box. And it's going to do the other wave and pull it over here. So I just wanted a little something with this. There is other boxes you can do with different designs. This is the one I wanted to. All right, I want to make sure that these are the same size. So we did the 1.985. I want to see what my width is. It is 0.229. And that is exactly the same. So that's perfect. These are going to be the same. Okay, so we're going to start here and finish this up. Everything is where it needs to be. I am going to hide my box. I'm going to select all of this and hit group. And I'm going to change the color. Try to get it more of a rose gold. Maybe something like that. And then when I pop my box back up, actually, I'm going to hide that. I'm going to pull my box back up and I'm going to make my box white because my canvas is white. So now I want my letters to come back over it. So you see how that looks? So anyway, you see what we're going with here. So now I want to select all. Go up to this left top corner, hit the select all button. All of it is together as one. I'm going to group it all now. It is all grouped. So now if you go over to your top right corner, you see color sync. You'll see your different colors. All my letters and stuff is in the rose gold and my canvas is in white. So everything is where it's supposed to be. Okay, so now I need to check my sizing. This is where it's going to sit. I need the actual measurements of this now, not the actual 12 by 16 that I bought it at. So I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to say my width is, it's 10 exactly from wall to wall. So I'm probably going to get my words to be at 9. I think leaving a ½ inch on each side will work. And then here is exactly 14. So now that we're back here, I want to make my frame 10 by 14. So I'm going to click on it because remember we had selected all. And I'm going to come up here to the top panel and I'm going to unlock, or you can come down here and hit unlock. And I'm just going to change this, my width to 10 and my height to 14. And then I'm going to relock it. Now what I need to do here is take and size this. This is going to be my 9, because I don't want it to be too tight. This is going to be 9. Let me lock it. And then I also said if it was 14, I wanted to take it off a little bit, so I'm going to make this exactly 13. So I'm going to come back up here and unlock it and make that 13. And then I'll have a nice crisp white border around the outside, and it'll fit perfectly. I want to hide my canvas. That's what I want to do. Now I want to hit select all. I want to group them, and I want to attach them. To get our vinyl onto our mat. Okay, now I'm going to take and put my rose gold, and because it is iron-on, so you have to mirror it. So we have to put shiny side down and matte side up. So as you can see, this is my shiny side. I don't know if you can see it very good. And this is more of the dull side. So shiny side down. And I usually just leave it on the roll and then cut away what I don't use because I don't want to waste. And if you can't get things to lay very good, I just use Blues Painter tape. I don't buy the special tape that they tell you to. Guys, cut our project. I think I have everything the way I want it. Double check our dates. My husband's date is good. My sister-in-law's date is good. My daughter's date is right. My son's birthday is correct. My daughter's birthday is correct. And my nephew's birthday is correct. Okay. Another thing is, originally I had the white canvas around the back. That is just for a reference. I don't need that. So I'm going to come over here to the right, and I'm going to click on the little eye and get rid of that. So now it is just this. So double check my numbers. It is going to be 9 inches wide by 12, 13. I have to rethink that for a minute. I thought I wanted it to be 13 long, so I'm glad I just checked that. I'm going to go back up here, unlock my lock, and I'm going to make that 13 even and lock it back. So there we go. So now it's exactly where I want it, and I'm going to come up here to make. It is going to come up, wow, it's a big project, takes a moment to load, it's got to think about it. We already put our iron on, shiny side down. So now we'll just wait. Okay. This is going to say that it's a larger image. You need to use your larger mat. I already know this, so just click OK. So here it is, the way I would like it to look. But you have to come over to this left side and hit mirror because I am doing an iron on. Please, please take your time and remember to click mirror or you're wasting a big piece of vinyl. So now I'm going to click continue. And I have an Explorer Air 2. I already have it set up. Up here, I am going to click, the ones I use the most are these 4. If you have a maker, I'm not sure how that works, if it comes up or not. I don't. I have an Explorer Air 2. If you don't see here what you're looking for, click your browse all material, and then you would just go down to your iron-on. Here's your iron-on, and depending on which kind you're using, I use a lot of glitter, so I kept it as my favorite, and I use a lot of the regular iron-on. I've never tried foil yet. Holographic I used once, very difficult to use in my opinion. Very pretty, but a little difficult. Actually, I've never used this one, and this is what I'm using today, Sports Flex Iron-On. So I'm going to click that, because that is actually what I'm using. I didn't realize there was a key for that. So it's already set to default. I'm going to go over and load it in my machine. All right, now I'm going to weed it out. It causes problems. Sometimes I like to cut bigger chunks away as I go. Get it out of my way. But we'll see how it goes. And you can make this on any size frame. If you don't have a larger mat and are not very skilled at design space yet, do it in like an 8 by 10 frame, and you have to use your normal 12 by 12 mat, and then that will be no problem at all because you'll make it go to the size you need it to go without having it too large. I just happen to have the larger mat. So there's always ways around things. You can still make a last minute present. Just use the resources that you have. Okay, so I finished weeding it out. So I went over it and over it. I would turn it over to see if I missed any little markings, any, like the little twos have things on them. Really take your time, go through every single letter, make sure it's exactly the way you want it, because once you stick it down and iron it, you're done. Make sure there's no little marks, like right here I have to take something off. There's something above the 20, and there's a little dot there. So I need to clean it up a little bit better. So I'm gonna take my canvas and just run a lint roller over it. Get any little extra fuzz or lint off of that, okay? Next, I am going to lightly, there's no water in my iron, completely dry, steam off, lightly go over, just like you would your shirts, very lightly, not a lot, just to warm it up a little, and set my frame where I want it to be. That's the first thing. Okay, it is ready to go. Remember, it's already on its own sheet. You don't need anything extra on it. Like you don't need parchment paper or Teflon because this is its own carrier sheet. But you do want to make sure you get it straight. So, looks pretty straight to me. I can actually remove this because we have it lined up where we want. And now I can nicely just go over. I'm a little concerned that I made the crease here. I've never done it on canvas before. This is my first time. But it's a very easy throw together present at the last minute for your mother or mother-in-law. All right, I'm gonna take this off, see where we're at. Okay, the S did not stick, so we're just gonna go back and touch on the S. Go slow, check each thing as you pull it up, especially with all these little numbers and dates. Take your time. So I got it off, everything is done, but I definitely want to make sure it's gonna stay. So I'm just gonna take a piece of parchment paper and lightly just touch it up one more time, just to make sure that everything is gonna stay where it's supposed to stay. And even though this is something she's not gonna wear and wash, it's gonna be on her wall and I know it'll be fine. I just don't want anything peeling back. So, all right, next is going to be the frame. Okay, so now that I have it where I'd like it, I am going to carefully hold it and flip it over and keep that in place. And I like to start on the corners. Pull it kind of tight. Now I'm going to pull it as tight as I can on this last corner. And these went down really good. This one I'll take a little hammer to maybe and tap it in better. I'm going to see how it's looking. Very good. It hasn't moved. We're doing okay. I'm going to now I'm going to put two, maybe one on each one here and two on each side. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to carefully trim the edges. See how it's coming off? So, and it's done. So I just wanted to say thanks for joining me and taking the time to watch my video. I am new at YouTube and I've always done crafts, but the YouTube things are new. So I'm not that great at it yet, but I'm learning along with everyone else, and I really enjoy all of the YouTube channels that I watch and get my inspirations from. Happy Mother's Day to those of you that are moms, and this is a great last minute put together gift for your mother or your mother-in-law or a special friend that's a mom. So I just want to say thanks again, and if there's anything that you'd like to see that on your Cricut, or I also crochet, things that you want to watch and do, put it in the comment box below. Please subscribe and like this, and I'll catch you later.